Yep, it's in Vegas. Yeah, no Hawks. So what's up, YouTube? This is CJ.
And Sarah.
We're back with part 2 of our Las Vegas Grand Canyon
adventure. Spring break vacation.
Yes, we're back. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. If you saw the first video, or if you haven't seen the first video, it's up. Go look at it. You'll kind of get a feel for where we are. But I will start off just saying that if you saw the first video, that today, the second day in Las Vegas, was much better than the first day. So I don't know if it was just because we had gotten some sleep or what.
There weren't as many lines the second day.
No, there were still lines, but
it wasn't.
It just
just better.
Yes, it was better, and we didn't have to stand in different lines. But it was
That's what I meant.
It was a lot better. All right, so it's the next day, and this is our view from our room. This is a view from the floor on the 19th floor. So all of those that you see in front of me are rooms and floors. There's people walking, but this is the view looking down. If you're afraid of heights, sorry. You look nice.
Thank you. I've got my Cleopatra pendant on.
Oh, that's like how they really think she looked.
No one really knows how she looks.
I know, but there's a bit, we watch those shows, and
this is a hieroglyphic version.
They
of
found
Cleopatra.
like coins, and she's looking pretty rough versus some of the depictions we've seen.
Yes.
You look very nice.
Thanks. Well, she must have been attractive enough to lead multiple people into battle, and yeah.
It was a joke.
Yeah, no. I said I'm not a gambler, and I'm not a naturally lucky individual.
Okay, but
I did win $80. So that's
so
something.
that almost paid for our dinner last night.
It almost paid for our dinner. Yeah, that was just on quarter slots. We have found the Denny's that has the best reviews on Yelp, and we are gonna go have some coffee because they don't have coffee in room at most of the resorts.
Oh, yeah, they don't have coffee makers.
Turn right. There it is. And,
Again,
you
get there.
You can't even get in the door.
Right. Lines. All right, so we ended up going to Denny's out in North Las Vegas.
About 20 miles away from where we were at on the Strip.
It's just too crowded.
Spring break.
Every place you go is super crowded.
Last time we were in Las Vegas, it was February.
Yeah. So
that was
anyway,
4 years
we have a car. We just drove out here. It's fine. And
we got coffee and it's
yeah. So yep, we're gonna have breakfast, and then we're planning our day. We think we're gonna go to the Ace Buffet, and then Fremont, if we can get in, and then Fremont tonight, and then I guess during the day we'll figure out, just play it by ear and figure out what we want to do. So. And then we planned the day, and what we had decided to do was, one thing was King Tut exhibit, which is at the Luxor.
Yeah, that was part of wanting to stay there because as we mentioned before, we are Egyptophiles. We love all of that Egypt thing, and of course because we were staying at the Luxor, we were able to get a small discount on doing the experience because of it being at the Luxor.
Yeah.
So we knew we wanted to do that.
All right, so what was your favorite part of the King Tut experience?
Well, if you don't know this about CJ and I, we are huge Egyptophiles, big time. We've seen all the documentaries. We know all of the heavy hitters, the archaeologists that are super famous for everything that they've found. We enjoy watching it all the time. So even though this particular experience is, of course, you're not going to the Cairo Museum, you are having an experience, which means they are replicating all of the things that you would find if you went to the Cairo Museum. But I thought it was really well done. The props that they had, all of the movies and things like that, very accurate, very authentic, beautiful. A very, very nice job. I was very pleased with it. And I'm picky, of course, because it's my niche. It's one of my favorite subjects. So I really enjoyed that. That was the best of the Luxor to me. So.
What was your favorite part of the exhibit? Is there one particular item that really stood out to you in your mind?
Of course, his death mask, his coffin, and, because he was placed in so many different layers, sarcophagus upon sarcophagus, but they did a really beautiful job doing that it was a lot more colorful than I was expecting it to be, because I'm sure that's really difficult to replicate.
Yeah. So I agree with you. It was very well done. And it was worth the money that we spent.
Yes.
For that. So
I totally agree.
After we did King Tut, I think we just putzed around the Luxor, maybe walked over to Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, we just did, and we just did, went into some little shops. We needed to get some, little tchotchkes and stuff for the girls. Of course, when you go away and you don't have your children, not that they expect you to bring them something back.
They expect you to bring something back.
But we did.
Yeah, they did.
But we did.
Yeah.
So we did that kind of thing, and then it was about time to eat.
Yeah, so the Ace Buffet is at the Palms.
Yes.
Palms Hotel Resort Casino.
Which is not directly on the Strip.
Right.
It's one of the older hotels in Las Vegas.
No, actually, it's not.
It's not that old. I thought it was older.
I don't think it's no. I think the Palms is actually. It's not new, but compared to some of the other ones, I think it is
more of a baby.
I think it's a little bit newer.
All right, we're at the Aces Buffet. Finally got to a buffet in Vegas that we could get into. We had to wait 3 hours to get into. And we got here half an hour before it opened, which was fine. And we're inside. This is affordable. It's compared to what we were going to pay last night.
It's close to what we pay for buffet in Washington.
Yeah. So we're here. I'll show you what I got on my first pass, and then we're done filming. We're going to eat.
Another thing that we had talked about, the big highlight for the day was to try to go down to Fremont Street.
They call it the Fremont Experience.
Right.
CJ and I had never done that, even though both of us had been to Las Vegas a couple of times, both together and separately. I know my parents had been there and my sister, but I had never experienced Fremont.
Right, I had never done Fremont either.
And that was my favorite part. The Fremont district of Las Vegas is more the old area of Las Vegas, so it has all the old casinos like the Golden Nugget and some of the very beginning casinos within Las Vegas. So it's a separate area of town. There weren't a bunch of people like where you couldn't park.
No, so we get in, we park, easy to find parking, and
you just start at the one end and walk to the other.
Yeah, we got up and we actually took an elevator right up to the street level, and bam, right in front of us, that's where you see the Fremont.
The first thing you notice are the zip liners.
All right, so we came down Fremont Street. Neither one of us has been here before, so we're pretty excited. Found somewhere to park. We're gonna see what we can see. You want to say anything?
Nope.
All right.
All of what you said.
Okay.
Yep.
You've got showgirls that are
Yep.
scantily dressed. I wish I
Yep.
would have got more pictures
And
of them.
show boys.
Show boys
Scantily
too.
dressed. And yeah, I mean, I think they had people dressed up like nuns. I mean, you just, impersonators, just anything.
Yes.
People doing magic tricks, people, all kinds of stuff. It is,
Yes.
wow, it is an experience.
It is an
Very
experience, and we had never been there. And
Nope.
I think that was probably
That was my favorite part
the highlight
of that.
of the trip.
Of that.
And parking was easy. I mean, we actually Googled where to park. Although I had my boss goes to Vegas all the time, so she had kind of given me some tips. And so I Googled this place where she told me about parking.
It's a dedicated
It was
experience parking
right.
lot.
It was
so.
right there.
Yeah.
You got off the
Elevator, and you're right.
You're right there
at the beginning of the experience.
Right, because it's a street.
Yes, it's a street.
It's a street. There's plenty of security, so you don't have to be worried about that. And there's all kinds of people, so it's not like you're just gonna go down there and you're the only one.
You're not gonna wander around and
By yourself,
be by
no.
yourself. It's jam packed.
Yes.
And this was on a Tuesday, so
Yes.
yeah, I can't imagine
So,
what
but-
it's like on the weekend.
But there's all kinds of private security plus police presence, so you don't feel like it's unsafe.
Oh, look at that Dunkin' Donuts.
Lights above you because they have like a light installation that's constantly changing,
Yeah.
and
they
zip
have a-
liners.
So they basically have a screen that goes down the entire length of
Yep.
the street that's above you.
Yep.
And that screen is always changing. There's music blaring, and it's quite an experience.
Yeah.
So I think that was the most fun that I've had. I think that's the most fun I've had when I've ever gone to Vegas.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't
Yeah.
think, I've gone to Vegas multiple times for multiple reasons, and I think that was probably the best experience I had.
The most Vegas-like experience, I think.
Yes. Although that 2020 when the showgirls took me out of the,
Because he was wearing the Seahawks,
when
and they were like, "Go Hawks!"
When I
and
met the Hawk fans, the showgirls.
the unclad Hawks
Yeah,
fans.
they were. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But they were fans, so
Yeah, sure.
it was all in the name of the
Of
NFL.
course, of course.
fans.
Yes, yes.
So that was our
indeed.
first 2 days in Vegas, and we'll come back with some other videos
Yeah.
about the rest
So
of the trip.
stay tuned for part 2, which is going to be a completely different experience.
Completely.
If you're not a Las Vegas person, then this secondary experience will be for you.
Yes. Thanks for watching.
Peace.